Hey guys, so I've just been looking at the new cars that we've seen on the dev stream today. These cars are designed for arena, apparently, although they'll be playable and constructed as well. And here they are on the screen, and I thought I'd just go over some of my thoughts about them, general feelings, before having played any of them, of course. So you know, might be inaccurate closer to the time. But who knows? So yeah, the first one, Ihuaraquax. I don't know what that means or is. It looks like some kind of unicorn thing. Um, so this one's pretty cool, design-wise, I think. So it's 7 power, deal 5 damage yourself. When its current power equals its base power, deals 7 damage to 3 random units. So this, if you set it up and you buff it in hand or presumably on board, then it's gonna deal a maximum of 21 damage. Now, that's a pretty cool concept, right? So we've got this card that it requires some setup. If you get that payoff, you can get a pretty, high value, some removal as well. In reality, it's probably not going to be that great because number one, it's going to be hard to get it to its base power. Presumably, it has to be exactly 7, so you need to buff it by exactly 5, which not many cards can do that. Um, like a Guara can do it, and then of course you can play like Dragoons and like one support and hope the Dragoon hits it, which isn't very reliable. So it's going to be hard to proc the effect with hand buff. On the board, it's just probably way too easy to be removed to actually ever be useful. So meeting the conditions pretty hard, and then the condition itself isn't very good because 7 damage to random units, you're probably going to hit, stuff that's way below 7 strength. So it's going to be capped at, I don't know how much value, but for example, if you hit 3 1s, you're just crying, right? That's really bad value. So yeah, it's cool design-wise, but probably not great. I mean, yeah, I don't really see this one being too strong. Next one's Dandelion, Vainglory. This is just 9 power, boost self by 3 for Geralt, Yennefer, Triss, and Zoltan card in your starting deck. I think this one's pretty terrible. Um, 18 value, presumably, if you can put each of these in. I'm just trying to think if there are any silver versions of those cards. I'm not sure there are. I don't think so. So yeah, you can play a maximum of what? 3 of these? 18 strength if you're satisfying that condition, which is a bit rubbish, I think. Maybe for meme decks. Roach Merciless. So this one's 5 power, destroy face down ambush unit, then draw a card. This card is just kind of terrible. I don't know. I don't know why this is a thing, to be honest. It's a bit weird. So it's a card that's really, really bad. Like really, really bad if you're not playing against a deck that has ambushes. So that means you can probably never play it in constructed unless square ambush stuff is super popular. You're just not ever going to play this card. So that means in arena you might play it because ambushes are going to be more prevalent there, and you might face them, against more decks than you would in constructed. But even so, like if you don't hit it, it's terrible. If you do hit it, however, then you're getting a really good payoff. Like drawing a card and destroying a card your opponent played is like it's mind-boggling. Like if you hit a Sapper with this, right, it's 16 points plus you draw a card. That's game winning, honestly. So this is like super polarizing. I don't know. It's either really completely useless or like over the top incredibly strong, like stronger than Shoop, which is just ridiculous, right? So I don't know. I don't know why this is a thing. Seems really dumb. Yeah, probably will never be played, but you'll have like random RNG moments where it goes crazy and wins you a game. So yeah, great, I guess. Um, Enough for Necromancer. So this is a Nilfgaard one as well. 5 power. Resurrects a bronze or silver soldier from opponent's graveyard. So it's like a caretaker, but with a condition that's somewhat difficult to meet. I don't know. It's like a lot of decks have soldiers. Pretty much, I think every deck has a soldier at least. So probably will be okay for arena. I don't think you'd play this in constructed though, unless I don't know you're really needing to hate on Skellig or something like that. Seems like the restrictions a bit makes it a bit rubbish. I don't know. Hard to say though, might be okay. Next one's Imlerith Sabbath. So this is 5 strength. Duel the highest enemy on turn end if it survives. I'm assuming that means Imlerith survives. Heal it by 2 and give it 2 armor. And it's got 2 armor. So now this card's pretty cool. The design is nice. You know, dueling is a really cool mechanic, and it requires a lot of calculation a lot of the time, which is pretty neat. Highest enemy though is pretty hard to control. Uh, However, I don't know, it's at turn end, so that means as soon as you play it, it will duel the highest enemy, so you have some control over it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm reading that wrong or like misunderstanding it. It might be on the opponent's turn end, and if it is, then it'll be a lot worse because it'll be easier to remove, right? It'll be like a succubus, but kind of lower payoff, slightly lower risk. But yeah, if you can hit something with this, then the heal by 2 and give 2 armor is really good. So it's a 7, and you want it to go to 1 strength. So the best duel is, I don't know. You wanna hit like you can't hit something very high, honestly. It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really interesting, like getting the most value out of this card, honestly. Um, yeah, I like the design. The design is really good. Question will be whether it's playable or not. Yeah, I think it might be. I think it might be playable. We'll see. Okay, Triss Telekinesis. This one's 6 power, create a bronze special card from either player's starting deck. So this one seems like a good arena card, right? It's just 6 points plus a card, which, you know, in theory that's pretty good. I guess it depends how the create's going to work. If it's like Slave Driver and you can brick it, then it might be awkward playing against like decks which are running spells you don't want. Then again, you can always play your own spells and make it a little bit more reliable. So, I don't know, I could see this one being okay. Maybe like a bit meta dependent, but hard to say whether it will be like good or I think it's okay power level wise. I mean obviously the design is whatever. It's create random cards from whatever. Yeah, not much to say there. Dandelion Poet. So this one's 6 power, draw a card and play a card. Now this one's pretty cool. It like functions as you're playing a gold card and you basically get 6 points on your next play. Like you play it and you get an extra 6 points with that play, rather. With your next play, yeah. So I don't know. It's probably quite good in decks which don't have a 4th gold really, and maybe even in just normal decks anyway, because it just like it gives so many options, right? Like you can play Spy for 7 points, which is pretty nutty. It just gives you that like it just gives you points when you need them, basically, which can be pretty useful. So I'm going to say this card's quite strong. And I don't mind. Yeah, the design's cool. It's definitely like a unique effect. It might be too, like, strong. I'm not sure yet. We'll definitely have to see. But, like looking at it immediately, it seems like a little bit potentially abusable. Like, can you imagine, like, something like, I don't know, Calviet into Dandelion Poet into Rainfarn into Roach into Spy, and then you're like playing a positive whatever point Spy. I don't know. There can be nutty things that happen with this. So, but I don't know. I like the card. It's something new at least, which is cool. Another good one is Ceres Fearless. So this one's 6 power. Skellige, resurrect the next unit you discard. So it's like really low tempo, but you get quite a strong effect. So you're getting like any card that you discard, you're getting that rezzed, which is pretty nice. It's like if you pull this off, it's basically a 6 power, Freya or whatever you want to, that kind of resurrect. So that seems quite good, especially on a gold. Combos really well with stuff like Lugos, or even just Warmongers, I guess. Probably Lugos. Like you might use this with Lugos as a finisher. Be pretty good. Like, and you can play this in a round you're bleeding. You probably don't want to play it in round 3, although it's like not bad if you play it in round 3. And yeah, pretty, I don't know, pretty good like carryover potential, I guess, because unless this effect is like always around and dependent on it being on the board, which I'm not sure if it is or not, I would assume once you play it, then the condition is, even if it dies, you're always going to be able to resurrect the card you discard, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I like the design of this. It's really um, really nice. You're doing a low payoff in the moment, and then later on you're getting some kind of reward, which you can combo nicely with that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's what I think of that one. Moran Forest Child. So this is basically old Ida from like closed beta. So it's 6 power gold card. When you ambush, when your opponent plays a bronze or silver special, flip over and cancel its ability. So yeah, it's basically like a counter spell sort of deal. Um, I really like that interaction, honestly. I think that was something that the game was missing potentially, and just like ambush interactions in general, they really spiced up Gwent, I think, in closed beta. Like a lot of my best memories and moments of the game were, playing around Teruvials, Ciaran, getting scorched by Shiru randomly for like a billion points. Those are interesting moments, and having to play around the different stuff is always cool. I mean, you can always pull off combos with this, but yeah, that's the thing. It's a card that you can get a really, really high payoff from it, but it's quite risky, right? Because if they don't have any specials, then it's doing nothing, so it's a really bad drop. If they do have a special that's not even that good, then it's maybe a mediocre gold, that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, in general, I like this kind of design, which has a risk associated with it. You're playing a card that could be bad, but if the condition is met, then it's pretty good. And I mean, this card's kind of like the Roach, right? In terms of being really bad if it doesn't work and really good if it does. But the problem I have with Roach is it's dependent on the deck your opponent's playing, right? So it's just predetermined as to whether it's really good or not, which seems kind of pointless and not fun, and yeah, just really swingy for no reason. Whereas this is like you have control over it in most cases, I want to say. Like there's always the opportunity to pass on this, right? And it's just trash. You've played a gold for 0 points, which is really bad. Like, and that can lose you games if you end up playing this at an inopportune time. So having the opportunity to play around it is really good. And yeah, but on the other hand, you can use it effectively. I've heard suggestions of like, you play gold weather after playing this, and then they can't clear it because their weather clear gets countered, that sort of thing. So yeah, I like this card a lot. Hopefully it's yeah, I think it will be maybe played a little bit. It might be too weak for gold, but I don't know. We'll see. And finally, Geralt Professional, 7 power neutral, 4 damage to an enemy. If it's a monster unit, destroy it instead. I don't know. This is another card that's like a bit random. I don't know why bother with this. I guess it's quite flavorful, but apart from that, it's like it's kind of like an Eskel, but it's really bad, or it's punishing monsters. I mean, really bad. I mean, 11's pretty bad, right, for gold. It's either an 11 or it's punishing a faction for being that faction. I guess in Arena, it's not. It's just more value when your opponent plays a monster unit. So I guess as an Arena card, it's alright. Not going to see constructed play ever. I don't know. It's an okay one. I don't know. I don't know if I like it being available to everyone, but I don't think it should be like an issue. It's just kind of a weird one. I don't know. It's a weird one. Like it's bad, and if it was good, it would just be like dumb, right? So I guess it's good that it's bad, but printing bad cards, yeah, I guess it's fine. I don't know. So yeah, in general, like a mixed bag. There are some really good designs here. Like I love the Moran. The Ceres is good. The Dandelions, yeah, it's alright. Um, yeah, the Imlerith is cool as well, and I like the design of this one, but it's quite weak, I think. And then yeah, the others are a bit like there are some really bad ones that, in terms of design philosophy, namely the Roach, I think is just a bit dodgy. Um, but we'll see. Maybe it's not as bad as I say right now. And then I don't mind the meme cards either. Like if you want to make a Geralt, Yennefer, Triss, and Zoltan deck, go for it. But apart from that, yeah, I think there's some good things here and some bad. And it's all for Arena, which I haven't played yet, so who knows? Maybe some of these cards will shine in that format. It's possible. Anyhow, that was my thoughts on the new cards, and let me know what you think in the comments, or don't. I don't really mind. I will read them though.